All right. Well, welcome. Good morning. I hope you have your tea or coffee. This is Dr. LeTa, and I am here to just share with you an overview of, this company that's really taking a storm. Gosh, in the last 2 years in this country and now global, they are. It's called Prime My Body. And because of my background being a doctor of acupuncture and oriental medicine, cannabis is one of the original 50 Chinese herbs. And I ended up doing my capstone on the history and therapeutic implications of cannabis and realizing that, when you extract oil from cannabis, there's over 200 chemical constituents, and we call them cannabinoids, and CBD is one of them. And it's like the mother cannabinoid because it does so much. That's why if you're listening to this or watching this video, what's up with CBD? What's going on with it? What's up with hemp? There's a little bit of information that I want to clarify as far as naming right when we start. There's reasons why being an independent affiliate of Prime My Body, we don't actually say the word CBD. And I want to talk about that first and foremost before I continue, because people always ask me, what's cannabis, what's marijuana, what's CBD, what's hemp? It's very confusing. I think it would be nice for all of us to just have a common language moving forward. So if you look up in the USDA, the plant hierarchy of kingdom, family, genus, species, the kingdom is family Cannabacea. And then we go into genus and species. And the genus it's pretty much either broken down to hemp and hops. And most of us know that hops is making beer and hemp is the medical part of cannabis. So from there, it's all under Cannabis Sativa L. Okay, so that's important to know. Now, if you look at the cannabis industry in the United States, it's broken into 4 different areas. And of course, this is the way that I view it. There's medical or therapeutic benefit, which is what we're talking about, getting a therapeutic dose of cannabinoids of some kind. There's recreational, there's pharmaceutical, and then there's corporate. Corporate is showing up more now where you can get toothpaste with CBD or your beer with CBD. That's not therapeutic dose, just so you know. Okay, so we're talking about, having a therapeutic benefit of cannabinoids. So CBD is the largest one that most people talk about. So I want you to understand that. Now there's other ones, CBG and CBN, and we will talk a little bit about those as well. So how do we distinguish how to call this as hemp? U.S. government decided to label products that are made in the United States hemp if they have less than 0.03% THC, because it's an easy way to distinguish which products people that working in drug testing industries can use. So teachers, policemen, firemen, people that don't want to have that psychoactive effect. So it's a really easy way from a product standpoint, from a buying standpoint, to say, okay, if I'm taking hemp, it's literally recognized by the FDA as a food product, a dietary supplement. I'm not going to have those psychoactive effects. So that's why companies like Prime My Body, we call it hemp oil. Okay, so I just want to clear that up. Okay, so let's start. Super excited that we're here. I hope you're having something warm to drink. Scott, welcome. We are recording this call for anyone that can't be here right here today. But the company is called Prime My Body. It's all about living wellness. It's about creating a lifestyle. And as we know, what you put on your body is just as important as what you put in your body and vice versa. So I'm excited to get into it. It's all about plant-based living. So I'm an herbalist. I've been into plant-based business living for a long time. I live in Santa Cruz. And this particular mission, this vision of Paul and Austin and JT and the whole team is to create more awareness, not only in this country, but globally, about what do we put in our body that really matters. And they are committed to creating the highest quality of products that they can, that's available and that technology and science can give them. I want to go over a little bit about the company. It's they have this phrase that we say, even these trucker hats, called "Heck No GMO," because anything that's modified, we want to get things in its purest form. So let's talk about why we're here. Well, this is where I want to start. This is the next booming industry. I definitely want to go into the hemp oil and why it's the best hemp oil on the planet. But I want to talk about the business opportunity at the end and how to get wholesale if that's something that you want. So this industry, cannabis, cannabidiol, right? They are the next booming industry, and it's going from 7 billion last year, and projected sales would be over 50 billion in 2020. So even though the slide says 22, so this is what we're calling the green rush. Okay, it's what's in people's conversations right now. It's what's in people's minds. It's definitely on my mind, and what people are thinking about is how do I get it? What's the best form? How do I get involved? It's where investors are putting their money. I see it in the conversation everywhere, not just in Santa Cruz, but online. It's what people are talking about. And it has amazing benefits for all of us. So, this green rush, this next booming industry, it's like when you have the best hemp oil in the US in the market available now, and then you have the timing of the industry. It's pretty incredible. I can't, of course, make any claims on medical claims or financial claims, but it is the most extraordinary financial opportunities that I've personally seen and been a part of. So let's talk about cannabinoids, because in order for me to go into the company and why the oil is amazing and why these products are amazing and what the opportunity is, I feel like I should go put my doctor hat on a little bit and go into what is this? So cannabinoids. So I don't know if you all know about the endocannabinoid system, but this oil is packed with phytocannabinoids. Ideally, you're making them, okay? You're making 2-arachidonoglycerol and anandamide, okay? So if you're not making these cannabinoids, the beautiful thing is you can take them from a plant. And that's what we call them, phyto, from a plant cannabinoids. So we have this endogenous cannabinoid system in our bodies. We have receptors for these cannabinoids in our brain. I mean, this is huge, in our nervous system. So what happens is that, you can't test for cannabinoid deficiency yet. There's a Dr. Ethan Russo that wants to test, but the question I would ask yourself is, if I'm not happy, if I'm not motivated, if I'm not thriving, and then of course, if you have symptoms, then it's going to tell me your endocannabinoid system, you're probably not making cannabinoids. So you're definitely going to want to be on hemp oil. So this system was discovered about 30 years ago, but it's literally one of the most important medical discoveries of our time. For us being alive, the fact that science has allowed us to discover that you have receptors in your brain, in your gut, and all over your body for the cannabis plant. This is pretty big news. But it's also being involved over time, because the environmental toxins that are happening, we know about Fukushima, I'm in California, so the Paradise Fires, Houston floods, New Orleans, Haiti, all these environmental disasters are putting those toxins into what? Our food, our water, our air supply. So that's really important to know, that this system, the endocannabinoid system, is all about keeping you in balance, homeostasis. So, yes, you can control your food and what you eat, and, all that kind of stuff. But what you can't control is the environmental toxins. And so what's happening is there's more taxation on the system. And so the endocannabinoid system is having to work harder and might not, again, be producing these cannabinoids. I don't know, what's going on in your circle of influence on Facebook and Instagram and your local communities, but people aren't feeling as well as they were before. And that's what I'm noticing. I'm noticing a lot of lung issues that are, people that are getting colds, they're lasting longer. And so I'm knowing that the taxation on this system is not really maintaining, but also restoring. And it's a critical part of the body that needs to be working. So this is the thing, this hemp oil is, you take it under, in your body, on the tongue, sorry, you don't even have to do it in your tongue. And then within 5 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a little bit debatable, it goes into your bloodstream. And then those cannabinoids in the hemp oil, it's called cannabidiol. It literally goes across the blood-brain barrier within seconds, okay? And then it goes into the body and does what it needs to do for you. So your body has intelligence. It has a hierarchy. If you have a sore throat or a headache or an open wound, it's probably going to deal with that first before your back pain, okay? So you can trust the intelligence of your body just as much as you can trust the intelligence of the plant, that it's going to do what you need to do first. Hopefully that makes sense. So it's going to nourish, replenish this endocannabinoid system and start kind of what I in my mind, I kind of make up this thing of like, it's going to resuscitate, because hopefully eventually it's going to start working better, and maybe you won't need the oil eventually. But that's kind of one of those things where right now it's pretty much a multivitamin for everyone. So when we take in the oil, it acts as a potent supporter of anti-inflammation. It's going to greatly support your immune system. It's actually an immunoregulator. So when the immune is suppressed, it's going to go into overactive. It's going to cause a lot more energy to be required of your body that's you don't really need to be using and utilizing. We are such a culture of fight or flight, overdrive, sympathetic overload, and our nervous system, being in that long-term mode of tension and survival, it really can cause a lot of fatigue and unhappiness. And so when your body can't function physically the way it's meant to do, your nervous system, your organs, your tissues, your muscles, cells, everything. Secondly, how can we function even emotionally, which then affects our relationships? Okay. So I feel like, there's urgency for all of us to be on purpose, for all of us to be feeling good. We all see the world through a certain lens, and we have a particular purpose here. And I just really, by feeling pain or by feeling stuck or whatever, not getting good sleep or having low energy or whatever the issues are, or God forbid a diagnosis, we're not thriving, we're not contributing. And so one of the things we all have to do and say yes to is, okay, I'm going to start with myself. I'm going to really figure out how to start feeling good here, because it's your birthright. And now that we know about the endocannabinoid system, I can say with every cell in my body, everybody needs to be on this oil for so many reasons. And I'll go into a little bit more about it. So ideally, just to wrap up this part, we have, gosh, I don't even know, there's so much education I can give you, and I don't want to overwhelm everybody as far as like clinical stuff around the endocannabinoid system. But this is the thing. If you have a symptom or a question on if cannabidiol, if hemp oil can help you, I would say, Google, information on the benefits. Google the endocannabinoid system. I have videos that I've made that whoever directed you to this video, happy to share with you a full-on education class on this stuff, because I do teach this to medical providers. So most importantly for this particular conversation this morning, I would say take a sense of, what do you really need? And what are you doing around food? Because if you don't have nutrition and dietary cofactors in your body, omega-6s in your diet, then you're not going to make cannabinoids. That's the first thing. So in order to be thriving, the first thing we have to look at is our relationship with food, which comes from Mother Earth. Okay, so I'll probably just save that. And then the last thing is this oil, again, is approved by the FDA, legal in all 50 states, approved for infants. This isn't about getting people high. Yes, this is the cannabis industry, but this is about waking people up, waking your cells up, so you can be relaxed, so you can be present, so you can be more connected. That's what we're talking about here. So let me go into Paul Rogers. Let me go you a little bit about the company, and then at the end we'll leave some time for questions. He was a biodynamic sustainable farmer. He's also a businessman. So what I like about him is that he's really a person that is huge in the hemp industry in the United States. In fact, he's been paying a lawyer to be in DC to lobby, and because of what his efforts have done, he was part of the success of having that 2018 Farm Bill passed, which is huge for everybody, not necessarily what he's trying to do with this company, but really for everybody. So he's a team player, which I love. His success business-wise has shown me that he's the right guy to lead this company, and to be a pioneer. I mean, this guy has had to deal with, credit card companies not wanting to accept products in the cannabis industry and all this kind of stuff. So he's really a pioneer, and he's really a man of heart. I've been really lucky to hang out with him, and it's been pretty amazing. Okay, so let's talk about Dr. Ron. He's the medical director now that we have on team, and he's been taking brain scans of people doing even one dose in the oil, guys with chronic traumatic encephalitis, pro football players, even to stage 4 cancer women, and really doing the research and creating a better kind of supplement that he's seeing that people need. And that's why the new supplement this company just brought out, it has CBG in it, and I will talk about that. When you're in medicine, it's changing. Why? Because when you're seeing thousands of patients, like some of us are, we're seeing trends, okay? We're seeing trends not only on what is impacting environmentally. Most people, there was a Lyme trend, now it's mold in the gut trend, okay? So anyone that thinks they have Lyme and that it comes back negative, most likely they have mold in the gut. So, again, we have to be really looking at our bodies as a holistic entity and integrative. And those are, kind of buzzwords right now, but that's the reality. And so this gentleman, Dr. Cheng Wan, you can call him Cheng, or you can call him Dr. Ron, is really a trailblazer on a lot of different levels. And so I'm really grateful to have him. The clinical stuff he's doing is profound. And now that he's discovered that CBG, not him alone, but CBG is really needed for CBD, for people that have taken CBD or hemp oil and it hasn't been successful, especially women who get headaches that are on a pharmaceutical. You're realizing, you need other cannabinoids present. To isolate just cannabidiol isn't enough for most people for now what we know. Okay, so that's important to know. Okay, so let's go into this company. So let me move this, sorry about that. So being an industry leader in hemp oil, which is Prime My Body, it's talking about, like I said, forward thinking. And Dr. Chen, really, he's really done the research, and it's been pretty amazing. So let's go into the next one. Here we go. Recept. Let's talk about this product. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So thousands, about 7,000 patients we had as a team on the first flagship product of Prime My Body, which has been amazing. I mean, I'm talking, parents hunting me down because their 16-year-old is back to herself. And, of course, my chronic pain patients, really incredible. And it was incredible because of the delivery system. When you take a supplement, or even, let's just talk about supplements because that's what we're talking about, through the stomach, you're relying on your digestion and absorption of your GI tract. And a lot of Americans, or a lot of people in general, don't have a good digestion and absorption. And so it's really amazing to be taking supplements that either go underneath the tongue or have, technology like sonication. So not everybody has access to a naturopath. Naturopath, they do the IV nutrients. So you can kind of think of this as an oral IV. That's one way I like to say it. Okay, so this, most people are going to ask me, well, what is it good for? What's cannabidiol good for? CBD, and what's CBG good for? So first of all, if you're not sure, I mentioned earlier, if you're not sure what, cannabidiol is good for, pain management, it lessens the risks of diabetes. It's good for blood sugar. Of course, we know about Charlotte's Web. In the beginning, it was really good for childhood seizures and epilepsy. It does lower the risk of obesity, which is really important in this country. Anxiety, stress. It helps protect your skin, relief from arthritis. It helps maintain your brain health. It lowers the risk of cardiovascular disease. It actually helps achieve balanced cholesterol levels. It does curb appetite. And again, it depends on, what your body needs. Of course, it's antidepressant. That's why a lot of people take it. It keeps off cancer. I don't want to go into the medical details of that, but it can do that. And then also treats, again, psoriasis, small intestine contractions, a lot of different stuff. Now, let's talk about CBG, because most of all, cannabigerol, most people don't know about. And that's what separates from my body in this product. So it's analgesic, for pain. It's antibacterial, which is huge. Anticonvulsive, anti-inflammatory, anti-insomnia, really good for a good night's sleep. And again, CBG is going to help partner with CBD. And it's anti-proliferative, again, cancer, tumor cells, antidepressant. It's a brain cell stimulant. It's a bone stimulant. So CBG, cannabigerol, again, is really powerful as far as just being a really nice additive to the cannabidiol. Okay, so faster acting, longer lasting. So again, the difference between a lot of the hemp oils you'll find is it's we all had to learn how to read a supplement label or a food label. Remember, all natural came out and it didn't mean anything. And I think there's 600 words for MSG, natural flavors and stuff like that. So we all have to learn about how to read a label. Well, with this hemp oil, remember, it's going in the tongue. It has a oil size, so the cannabidiol is around 20 to 30 nanometers, okay? And again, a lot of people might market nano enhanced or liposomal, but the issue is that if it's under 500 nanometers, you can label it as nano. So you'll find that some of these products are around 112, 150 nanometers, which you're still swallowing it, it's still going to be absorbed through the stomach. So again, having something as stable as 20 or 30 on average is pretty profound. So what that's going to actually practically look like is when people take the oil, it's going to be instant, which I'm excited about, because some of the other products that people have tried, my patients have tried, it hasn't happened naturally. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Here we go. Okay. So this this oil, I haven't, unfortunately, or fortunately, it's shipped yesterday, but the people that are part of the administration team that I was in Mexico with a few weeks ago have been on it. And of course, they've been testing the product out in Dr. Cheng's clinic. And what he was saying when I was talking to him is that for people that have tried cannabidiol, and it hasn't worked, it's about getting the certain amount of cannabinoids crossing the blood-brain barrier in a certain amount of time. So if you find people that say, oh, I've tried that, it didn't work, okay? Or if they said, oh, I've tried it, but, it's too expensive, that means that they're taking something where it's having to go through their system. They figured out the right dose, but when you're looking at the bottle, it doesn't have the delivery system that's optimal. So understand that this is a bigger conversation. Okay, so I did want to just say that CBG really acts as a precursor. We talked, including CBD. So it's important at this point, I think, to complete the holistic approach of what we're talking about, to have CBG with your CBD. Here's some, things that I just talked about. And gosh, I'm grateful because, now that doctors like Cheng are doing the research and discovering things like this, and now we're able to come up with a product that really works. This is huge. I haven't seen any other company do this. Okay, so it's ethanol free. Why is this important? I have a lot of patients in Santa Cruz who went through AA and they weren't able to take other CBD products, other hemp products. Also, some people, if you're in my world as an herbalist, there's ethanol, all the Chinese herbs, that's what they're based out of. And it can be really spicy, or, people don't like it. So I'm glad that they've actually extracted the ethanol from this product. So I'm grateful for that. I mentioned this already. This company is literally a pioneer. They are an industry leader, and yeah, it's pretty incredible to be part of that. I went over those, so we don't need to go over that. So let's talk about the comparison chart, because most people say, I've tried CBD plus, or I get it at Whole Foods, and how is it different? The difference is that a whole plant extract means, I talked about, 200 different cannabinoids. You want to make sure that when you're extracting that oil from the cannabis plant, you're not just isolating cannabidiol, CBD. You want the other ones, and you also want those terpenes present. So if you don't know about terpenes or flavonoids, they're just what gives the plant the smell and the color, but they also each have an individual health benefit, and they help everything else work synergistically. And so when you're taking a look at what's in the oil, absolutely Recept is the best product, and also it's comparable in some ways least expensive than these products. So that's going to be important to know. Okay, so I want to quickly go through pets. Our four-leggeds, we love them. Our cats, our dogs. It's been incredible. I've been sharing this pet line in Santa Cruz community with dog walkers and people that pet sit and vets, and it's been amazing. Really incredible. So if you are not sure why a pet would take hemp oil, it would be for joint health, aging, of course, of course, 4th of July, or, anxiety, skittishness, inflammation, digestion, and then of course hot spots. A lot of pets have hot spots. I talked about environmental toxins. I talked about what you can control, what you can't control. And a lot of people have mercury, lead, and glyphosate and mold, mycotoxins. And you can juice all day long. You can eat spinach and kale, which I hope you do. But if you're not taking binders, you will never, literally extract safely these things that eventually end up as what? If you have mercury, Alzheimer's, dementia. I mean, we already know pathology. And so it's important to think of this as an oil change 4 times a year, 5 times a year when the seasons change. This is something you have control over, and we know too much now not to be doing an oil change for our bodies every season. Okay, let's see, next slide is the original formula. Like I said, thousands of patients are on it. It's amazing. I would say personally, if this product has worked for you, or if you're drawn to this product, great. But what I know now, being a cannabis consultant and doing the work in this field, I would strongly suggest getting hands-on Recept, because I'm really excited on what that's going to do for you. Okay, so you can get a wholesale account, and if you have your business hat on, it's one of those things where everybody needs a really good product. And so I would say, and of course there's a business opportunity. So the question is, do you want to get wholesale? It's very similar to Costco. You pay $39 a year and you get wholesale for a year, and that's it. You don't have to, no minimum requirement, no maximum requirement. They give you a back office. You can log on, you can order product. It'll ship to your door in a few days. Great. But you can also pay the $39 and you can be an affiliate. And what that means is you have the ways and the options to be compensated, which means you're placing one bottle, or someone is buying one bottle from your store a month, $89. So that gives you the option of being active. So if you're buying a bottle every month, or someone from your online store that they give you is paying that $89 a month, you're active. And then in order to make money in this company, you ideally are sharing this opportunity with other people, and they are getting on the product as well. And that gives you the opportunity to really make a lot of money. So where are we now? Well, we are here. There's new products coming out. International expansion, Japan and Taiwan are open. Mexico is going to be open in about a month or a few weeks, pretty close. Canada, Europe, etc. There is going to be a token, a cryptocurrency offering, because as you do international business, everybody's using cryptocurrency, and it's going to be backed by cannabis, by this product, by this company. So really amazing timing. But I do want to say affiliates may never earn income at all. So the last question I'll ask, want you to ask yourself is, do you want to be a customer? Do you want to get on this oil? You should be curious of this particular oil, because even if you have tried cannabidiol or CBD or hemp oil in the past, You haven't had CBG, most likely. And this is an opportunity to not only educate everybody you know about the benefits and why they should get on this particular oil, but it's also a business opportunity. And if you have a purpose, and you probably need money to follow to really make that legacy happen for you. And so I'm super glad that you were here, that you hopefully drank your coffee or your tea this morning. I'm going to end the presentation, but because we are able to on Zoom, I'm going to open up the line to see if anybody has any questions.